Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mg650 Leadership and Change. My name is Michael Scharf, and I will be your professor for this class. I first of all wanted to say congratulations on making it this far in the program. My guess is many of you will be either graduating this coming December or this coming May, so I look forward to either meeting you for the first time or seeing you again. Really, the purpose of this video is to go over the syllabus for the class. I did write a welcome message that gives a little bit more personal information about me if anybody's interested in that in the course shell, but really just wanted to go over the syllabus in this video. So as I said, my name is Michael Scharf, and my email as well as my office phone number is on the syllabus. I will say that you can message through Canvas, but for some reason many of those end up in my junk file for some reason. So if you need to get in touch with me, please just email me. That's probably the best way. Even if I'm out of town, checking out my email pretty much multiple times a day. As far as the course goes, there is a textbook in the class. It's really not your typical textbook. It's really a book. And it goes over, I think it's interesting because in many cases it goes over many leaders and many leaders using the same leadership, yet some of them are good and some of them are bad. And the great thing about this class is we're really going to kind of look into each one of them and try to figure out why. So you'll have multiple chapters. They're just a couple pages each on each leader within the textbook. You do have to get the second edition because there are different people in the first edition than the second edition. So make sure to get the second edition of that. There's also a bunch of articles that you'll read each week on the different leadership theory that maybe the people of that week are using, as well as some videos. I did check about 2 weeks before the class starts, and all the video links work, but that doesn't mean that when we get to it, 5 or 6 weeks out, that they'll all work then. But if you find a link that doesn't work, just email me and I will fix it. So let's go into the class requirements. I'm going to assume I had many of you for the ethics course in the MBA program. And the assignments, the weekly assignments are very similar. I guess before we even get into the assignments, the great news is there are no tests in this class. So those of you with maybe some test anxiety, you don't have to worry about that in this class. So, but each week you'll have 3 or 4 different discussion questions to answer. The discussion questions are due Thursday at midnight. And then just like in the ethics class, we're asking you to make a substantive comment on another student's post. So the requirement is that you answer one of those posts with a substantive comment. And I will say that, let's see, saying it's a great post and you agree is not a substantive comment. Further summarizing what that person said, it's a great post, I really like how you said, and then just reiterate what that person said, doesn't really add to the conversation. Likewise, agreeing with them and then summarizing your original post is really not adding to the discussion. So my hope is that out of all the other students' posts, you can find at least one that you can add to. And it could be agreeing and then adding a different situation or something like that to the post. So as I said, answer the questions, 3 or 4 discussion questions, and then 1 participation with a substantive post. You can do more than 1, and like what I do in the ethics class, I grade the best one. So if you're not 100% sure and you want to do 2, then what I'll do is I'll look at both of them and give you the grade for what I've determined is the best one. So I guess if you're really not sure, respond to more than 1 student and I'll just grade the best one. So that's weekly. In week 5, there is a research paper due. I know that in the MBA program, we don't have a whole lot of research papers, but this one is a typical research paper. Now, what I ask is that you select a topic. Now, I gave a number of topics in the syllabus, but you're not stuck with those. My hope is that you would find a topic that maybe you're having difficulty in, either in work, if you're still at Limestone, maybe on a sports team, on your sports team, something that you can research and learn more about. So if you're having trouble with teamwork, then pick that topic and research that topic. If it's something else, you can research those topics. Again, my hope is that you can add something not only to benefit you in this class, but to benefit you in your work or other school environment. I will say on this paper, the students that try to do everything in the research paper, so instead of looking at one topic, they end up and say, well, shoot, I'll just do all of them, and I'll write one paper on all of them. Well, those students don't generally do very good, because you don't end up doing a whole lot of research in anything. So it is much better to kind of drill down on the topic. So I mentioned teamwork before. You could do it on teamwork. You could also do it and be even more specific in teamwork amongst different genders, teamwork in diverse environments, teamwork with older employees. I mean, there's a whole bunch that you can do and really look into if that's the problem that you're having at work. So again, hopefully, this helps you get a good grade in this class, but I'm hoping that there's a benefit beyond that. So there are 2 team cases, and hopefully by this point in the program, you got team cases down, or even cases down, and certainly if you're not sure, then I would recommend that you go back and rewatch the how to do a case study in the orientation course. But we have, like I said, 2 team cases, and I usually assign teams at the beginning of week 2, and that way, if there's any drop ads during the first week of class, we don't have to reassign teams and stuff like that. But the 2 team case studies are due in week 6 and week 7, so that gives you 5 or 6 weeks to figure it all out and work with your team and assign whatever you want to do for tasks, as well as due dates and things like that. The last thing I'll mention is within the course shell, there's a thing called Ask the Professor. If you do have any questions going through the class that are applicable to everyone, certainly don't ask about your paper or something like that, because everybody can see it. But if you have a general question, feel free to ask it there. And I don't have an issue with other people in class, other students in class answering your question. It gets you an answer much quicker. And, for something general like when are the discussion posts due? I don't see it in the syllabus. If you're on and you see that and when they're due, you could say, hey, it's on page X in the syllabus and they're due Thursday at midnight. So again, I don't have a problem with y'all answering those questions, or I'll answer them when I get to it. But it's very possible that you're on earlier than I am in whatever day that happens to be and can answer it sooner. So anyway, looking forward to a great class. And if you do have any questions, you can post them to the Ask the Professor, or if you feel more comfortable about asking me individually, you can go ahead and send me an email. But looking forward to a great class.